Last time on MakeShift SMP, we built a massive underwater mountain and topped it with a beautiful temple. We did a full interior, including a bunch of statues, beautiful banners, and an awesome chandelier I'm really proud of. Our farm is working so well, it is actually overflowing. We've outgrown the starter island, we've outgrown the storage here, and the problems are only stacking up. Today we need to move out because I've been living in hell. Bad. 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 I was naive to think that I could live my life with 3 max-size item vaults holding all of my items. This was certainly not enough space. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my spaceship and all of the automation that we've set up inside it, but it's so slow. Every video I complain about the material list that I'm trying to gather for some build that I'm trying to do because it takes me far too long to get any of that done. And today we fix it. We're finally moving house. And this is going to take a lot of work, so stick around to the end to check out all the cool progress we're going to make. And the progress is only going to be hindered by things that we've updated in the mod pack. We've added a ton of new stuff, including steam and rails, baby. I don't know what to do about this. Each slice of this automation needs to be improved by basically stacking it up multiple times, and I just, unfortunately, did not have the space to do that in this ship. And that leads us to what we're going to be doing today. Let's grab up the tunnel bore and our chainsaw over here, and I'll regale you while we decimate the side of a mountain. And we decimated this mountain live on stream. Take a peek down in the description if you want to check us out. Today, we're building my endgame workshop. We're tackling this project today in 3 easy steps. Step 1, we flatten everything. Step 2, we build up the exterior of the build. And step 3, big storage. Do we have a budget for any other steps or no other steps? Cool. And returning back over here to my base, I can go ahead and take out all of the oak logs that we got while clearing all those trees. And I don't have enough space. Hang on. And we can grab out all those oak logs and send them into our system. And it comes out to about 2 full shulker boxes and a little extra. Is what a stupid person would say. I literally just threw like a full shulker box into my system. So it was like 3 shulker boxes. While I'm down here, I can also grab out all these saplings and tons of this bamboo. And we can use that to make tons of cardboard. We're doing tons of stuff with storage today. I'm gonna need all the materials I can get my hands on. And since oak is the main ingredient whenever I'm auto-crafting any of the items in this shop, it'll be used to create tons of vaults, and they're all gonna get dropped off here after they've been crafted. I'm hoping 20 stacks will be enough storage for me to never need storage again. Please, dear God, please let me never need storage again. You know what? Screw it. Let's just make it the full 27. And in preparation for what we're actually going to be building today, I know I'm going to need a lot more iron than I got. That is 1 shulker box of iron blocks and the new loco metal. The new loco metal costs iron blocks. That should be another full shulker box of iron. Perfect. Took like 10 minutes to get a stack of this. Never mind, I'm just gonna craft these by hand. This is... Yeah, I just got like 7 stacks in about the same amount of time. This is stupid. I'm coming back over to my starter shop from this area because I wanted to check on a few things, and I have just spent about 3.5 days in creative mode, testing a bunch of stuff, doing different small detail things that I want to have ready for the build. I didn't plan everything, but I mostly wanted to know where everything is going to lay out as far as the roadways are going to go and stuff like that. And also, I got fancy new eyes. I went ahead and actually loaded up the Fresh Moves resource pack because we already have entity texture features in our mod pack, and I figured, I might as well. More expressive eyes. I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think about it. I look kind of dissatisfied right now. I don't know. It's gonna trip me up. But I also wanted to get an idea of how many vaults I was going to need, and oh my God. That's not gonna be enough. I'm just gonna drop down another one of these right here, and I'm gonna let that slow craft, but I'm not holding my breath or anything. It's gonna be a while before that's full. But I mostly wanted to get together an idea of how many materials I was going to need, and just a small amount of materials. Again, I didn't really do all the detailing, but I wanted to have an idea of how much everything was going to cost. But I'm going to go ahead and use Litematica to take this materials list. I'm going to write this to a quick .txt file, and now I can at least ballpark what I'm going to need. And so back over here on the server, I can tab back over to my materials list, and we can take a look at the materials that we are going to need in rough amounts. I'm using iron sheet metal as the roofing block. I think it'll look really good. It's got a really great industrial look to it, and it's really bright in color. Having dark ceilings kind of makes the area look a lot smaller, and wow, I'm gonna get so distracted by my eyes. 7,000 iron sheet metal. That's like almost an entire shulker box of iron blocks for just the sheet metal. Wait a minute, no. Iron sheet metal, wait, hold on. I was thinking that was loco metal. Loco metal is like 8 to 1. You get 8 riveted loco metal for 1 block of iron. I'm pretty sure the iron sheet metal, oh, that's just a regular iron block. I still don't have an iron farm, guys. Well, back over to Case as it is. Let's hope he's got the stock. Oh, that's only 3,000 blocks of iron. Ooh, I'm gonna need to message Case. Yikes. Well, we'll let that build back up again, I guess. I don't know what else to do. Oh, I am really gonna miss my spaceship. It is just so cool. And so let's grab up a bunch of materials, shall we? Iron sheet metal. Oh, thank God. I didn't need to buy all that iron. I'm stupid. I mean, we've got the iron now, and I'm gonna need it for loco metal later, so I mean, I'm gonna keep it. But yeah, all of this can be back into this, and we craft iron sheet metal with iron sheet, and you get 1 for 1 ingot. Oh, that was almost really. Oh, that would have sucked. Thank God for the hydraulic press. It presses a full stack all at the same time. But yeah, look at that. 9 stacks for 9 stacks. That is much better. All right, now I have 5 full shulker boxes of the iron sheet metal, and we can move on to the next thing. I did go ahead and go through the shopping district in between episodes, and I went ahead and swapped out all the black asphalt, like the normal kind, for this gray asphalt that we have here. And these are like double copycat slabs, and the added benefit is that just below this, we can have lighting. It lights up the shopping district. Keeps it like fairly mob-proof. But I'm just popping down here to grab a little bit of this. I can quickly swap this to gray dye for all of our asphalt in here, and we'll get a ton of gray asphalt. Ooh, cut stone's gonna be super easy. I know exactly where to get a bunch of that. Don't you love it when you overproduce on something you're never gonna need that thing again? Me too. And we jumped right into crafting a ton of new items. I am so obsessed with the new loco metal. It's a connecting texture. You can do different outlines and things. You can dye it. It's beautiful. And with the new create deco blocks, we can make catwalks and railings, and I'm gonna use these probably everywhere. I'm using specifically industrial iron catwalks in this one, but they also come in like gold and brass and all the other metal types as well. I'm also going to be using sea lanterns primarily for the lighting source in this build, so we took a quick flight on over to our beautiful new Guardian Farm Temple. And from there, we were just grabbing a bunch of different girders, some more loco metal types. I did have to run back over to the metal mart a few times to grab some zinc and copper. And crafted up a few things in the stone cutter, along with a few of these industrial iron encased chain drives. It is crazy that I have gone this long without a brass mixer. Ridiculous. And from there, I went through the nether, took a quick look at our beautiful nether hub. I love my nether hub. And then we flew on out to the end, because I needed a few dragon heads in order to make one last catalyst for a bulk processing. And I'm not going to say no to free elytras. I mean, I'm already here. And finally, with our Dragon's Breath catalyst sales and an extra full shulker box of item vaults, I think we can get started on this project. I did go ahead and cook up this as well. I wanted to have a lot of extra materials on hand because, again, I didn't finish it. I didn't finish it in creative. I want to do a lot of this stuff in survival if I can. And all I got to do is grab up all these materials here. I really got to find a better solution to this. Oh, my friggin' ender chest is so full of stuff. All right, that should work. And by grabbing up my workshop, we can bring this on over to the build site. And it always looks a little bit better with shaders, doesn't it? This is going to be cool. Really cool. And for as much digging and tree clearing as I did in the live stream, it wasn't enough because I need the area to be kind of clear so that I can get a really good idea of what I need for the layout of the roads. I know I spent 3 days in creative mode, but that wasn't really working on the build. It was mostly working on the roadways and the rest of the city. And after having everything cleared, I went ahead and dug out the basement and then paved the area around the outside. I'm going to use it as a bit of a parking lot slash distribution hub. And one of the main things that I did actually go ahead and lay out is the floor plan of the build. I wanted to make sure a few things were true. I wanted to have each module or section chunk aligned so that I wouldn't have things in multiple chunks. Keeping multi-blocks in the same chunk is just kind of good practice for like lag purposes, and also so you're not half loading a machine. It'll also help whenever I want to chunk load things in the area. I didn't plan all the machines on the inside, so I wanted to make sure each module or each chunk had proper access to lava and power, and what is a main workshop without a super cool center console in the middle of it. I'll be using this for all my crafting needs, inputting into the storage system, and we're going to add some cool decorative bits later on. And I wanted a place to offload items into the storage room, so I also laid out some loading docks on the side of the building that actually faces the city. I think I'm going to be doing a lot of the block automation inside the city itself, inside some of the buildings, and then I'll be transporting it over here via train. And we actually have steam and rails now, so I can use narrow gauge trains. I've been building cities in Create Mod for I don't even know how long at this point, and I've been waiting for narrow gauge trains in the mod packs that I play. I'm so glad it's finally here. If you don't know what narrow gauge trains are, don't worry about it. I'll tell you later on. But now we can finally start talking about the actual decorative walls around the outside of this build. I wanted this to look very evil. It's very mega corporation distribution facility slash manufacturing warehouse. And it actually does bear quite a bit of resemblance to the Arasaka Industrial Park in Cyberpunk 2077. And I wanted to have a very clean build. Most of the time when I'm building in Cyberpunk, I want things to look really run down, very dystopian, but this one is a megacorp, right? The people who work in this place are very clean, very, very well paid, and they know it. And the brand that operates here is one of the largest in the world. And when you consolidate all that wealth into one company, they buy really, really nice stuff. This is not an endorsement of that behavior. This is merely a representation of this art style. And this is a semi-final product. Obviously, we've got a lot of terraforming to do in the area, but I really like the way this came out. I didn't want to just place a box and then just set up a bunch of machines inside. I really wanted to spend a lot of time on the outside and make sure we get the decorative elements right. But looking at about 9 hours, maybe 10, 11-ish, with some of the things that I didn't actually end up recording. Just a casual 11 hours of building, you know. Yeah, I spend a lot of effort on these videos, guys. If you like the videos, you should subscribe and join the membership. Also join my Patreon. You get like build schematics and stuff. It's really cool. But wow, that was a lot of building. And this is Monarch. This subsection of the mega corporation is Monarch Industries. This is where a lot of their manufacturing gets done. There will be more Monarch facilities in the future. Don't worry. They're also a distribution company. They also make a lot of, you know, cybernetic enhancements, stuff like that. This company is the big bad. It's definitely the big bad. As you may also be able to tell, I also did a bit of flattening around the outside. I wanted to have like a double layer, or at least like a lower layer around the outside of this parking lot. I'm probably going to end up expanding this outward a bit, but mainly I wanted to have area. But yeah, that was a whole lot of building. It was a whole lot of building. And now it's finally time to get started on the interior. Ooh, I don't have power. Maybe I should do some power. Also, I might swap this for asphalt because I do like being able to run really fast. We actually have an armor trim mod on the server that allows me to, like, if I hold Alt, you can see the move faster. I actually have redstone on all my armor, so it actually makes me run really fast. I didn't know that we had that for the longest time. I just liked the way the red looks. But yeah, that in combination with the asphalt actually makes me run super fast. So being able to run up and down this thing without expending, you know, rockets to fly back and forth, which I'll probably do anyway, but that would probably be a nice benefit. Sir, can you? Yeah, I probably need to light up the area a little bit better. But how good are these like girder structures, man? I love those. I'm liking this stuff a lot. And we do have Macaw's doors, or whatever that mod is called. So I ran back over to my other base and I grabbed some iron and some glass, and I believe I can make some garage doors. Yeah. I think these can also come in different colors. Yes. Ooh, we do black, right? Let me throw that on there, and I want to see how those black doors will look. In fact, we can finally put down some stuff inside. Nice. I think things are a little bit more spawn-proof in here. Yeah. So as long as nothing gets inside, we'll be a little bit safer crafting and being inside here now. While I did light everything up with sea lanterns down below there, I also did my best to keep natural lighting in the mix by just providing holes every once in a while. If I turn on chunk borders, you can see how I actually laid these out. They actually land on the edges in between chunk borders, and that also kind of works with how these are laid out down here. All of these are going to sit inside a single chunk, and that's the chunk alignment I was talking about earlier. It keeps you from having to do a whole lot of of extra math. But yeah, as a temporary measure, what I think I want to do here is I just want to cover these up with some garage doors if I can. I have no idea how these work. Oh, okay. Cool. So yeah, garage doors. These are temporary. I'll end up doing some actual like entranceways, but just so mobs don't come in here and you know, blow up stuff. Can I open this automatically with a redstone? That's the question. It looks like the blocks that are left whenever this item is open are only up top there. Can I power that with a redstone? If I can't control these with redstone, I'm gonna be a little bit sad. Yes. No. What do you mean? Huh? Why? Okay, these are garbage. I'm not using these doors. I'll make my own doors, but for now, they'll at least cover the area. Wait, what? I didn't finish filling this out, and it just worked. Does that mean if I remove a bunch of these, does it delete everything below them? Did I just delete all these blocks? Huh? Okay, I guess you only need the top row of the garage doors. Don't know who decided that. So if I just... Oh, come on. I just deleted so many of those blocks. Well, at least we're safe now. I went ahead and gathered up a bunch of dye and a bunch of glass and glowstone so that I could make a bunch of these neon tubes. And with these, I can go ahead and make some of these neon bars. And I think I can use these white ones to just kind of like light up any of the structures or anything that we build inside here, just to make sure we get no mob spawns. And doing just like little stuff like that here and there, just kind of brighten the place up a little bit. I did also build these out all the way to the walls, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these walls on the exterior and I'm going to bring them over to this side so that I can have them on the inside as well. I can chuck the schematic in here, give it a clipboard so we get a nice materials list, and I just need a bunch of this stuff. I'm liking what we got here, but I think what I need is I think I need to cover up that, and I think I need to give these something to attach to. I also took this wall here and brought it all the way up to the ceiling, but the problem is I ran out of all of that iron. I have like literally none of that iron left. I had like 9 stacks of blocks extra after the materials I gathered earlier. Yeah. So let me go grab some more iron and we'll see if we can't finish up these interior walls here. Also, I did the sea lanterns across the top there. I like that because we're going to lose all the light that we get off of that sea lantern wall thing there. All right, with the black slash loco metal, I could just do like a line of that all the way across and just give us like that interior wall. I think covering up this is just kind of priority number 1 at this point. Frick. Or do we try a different kind of loco metal? I mean, I like this because it gives us like a visual distinction from what we have on the outside. And even some of these panels and things down here. I think I might go with this stuff here. What is this called? Flat black slash loco metal. Ooh, wait, do I not have to put this in a stone cutter? What? I can just change this automatically? Oh, that is a huge quality of life thing. Wow, that's sick. And this wall here is going to shape up to look a little bit different because I don't want to have that type of stuff on this front face. I think I'm just going to keep this flat and go all the way up. And that is quite a bit cleaner. That should help us with displays and things. Jeez. All right, and what I think I want to do now is I want to go ahead and lay out all of the storage for this area. I'm going to have all of my item vaults in these 2 chunks here and these 2 chunks here, but I want to make them some of the fancier item vaults that we have. We added create deco, which means we have access to shipping containers, but I could do some cyan, I think. And I'm just going to start laying these out. Okay, just kidding. The ones from design and decor only cost like 1 dye. I can click this with whatever dye I want and it turns the whole thing into that color. Also, these were super laggy placing them down and they wouldn't restructure whenever I moved it one. So I'm gonna not use those anymore. But yeah, design and decor. Hopefully these ones work. This is going to be the same system that I used in my old storage system in my spaceship. It's just bigger, like a whole lot bigger. And so I think I'm going to start with the item input. This kind of looks all crazy, but if I go ahead and like break this down, this will make a whole lot more sense. And item input into the system is now complete. I have these smart chutes here, which are all filtered so that I don't drop any shulker boxes into the system. I stole this design, I think, from Stam. He has a way for you to offload your shulker boxes by just placing them down on top of this, and the items will flow down into this vault here. And from here, the packagers are pulling any and all items they can get access to, 9 stacks at a time, and they're trying to put them onto this minecart contraption here. None of them are going through right now because I don't have a storage inventory on this minecart contraption, but just for example's sake, I wanted to show it off. If we turn that off and it assembles back into the world, I swear these blocks are here. They're just copycats and they get a little freaked out sometimes. But if I pull up my super glue, you can see all of these are super glued together, as are all of the pipes all the way over. But the cart goes all the way up to here where it's trying to offload the items into this chute here and this chute here. These have 2 separate names on them. This one's called VI Main Storage Input 1. And the items will go to here first. From there, the packages are dropped into this packager right here, which shoots all of the items into this vault here. And after these belts get running, these will send the items cascading from this vault to this vault to this vault, meaning that no matter how many of these are full, items will eventually flow into one of these vaults. If all of the top item vaults are completely full, the items will flow over to this chute here and send them down into here, which actually, I need to swap this and make this a smart chute so that it'll pull them a stack at a time. If I'm dealing with packages, normal chutes are fine, but smart chutes are better for items. Then the items will land on this, and if all of these vaults on this side are full, the items will flow into this vault, which will then get packaged and sent to VI Main Storage Input 2, where they'll get put back on the minecart contraption and sent instantaneously over to this distribution system here, because the package filter here is set to VI Main Storage Input 2, where it'll follow the same pattern. Items will flow down and back, and then they'll flow to here. And I don't know where to send them on from here, but for now, we'll have this, fake input, or I'll just turn that off for now. Items should never reach this point, because there is 103,000 items per vault, and there are 32 max size item vaults here, meaning we have 3.3 million item storage here at the main base. But putting the items into the system, that's all well and good. It's retrieving them instantaneously that's important, right? I'm not trying to sit and wait for my items whenever I call them up to me. No, for that, we're going to set up a different system. Whoosh. And now we have a fully fledged, fully functional item retrieval system. It's pretty much the same principle as what we showed before, but this one doesn't need the cascading feature, meaning we don't need any belts. We have packagers linked to each of the item vaults with a stock link on the back of it, and the packager automatically sends them through the chute onto this contraption here, and all of this flows down below. The items automatically get deposited in this vault right here, and then through this interface, they get sent up via a fan through the chutes and into that packager there, which automatically ejects the items into the barrel up top there. It looks like a netherite block, but I swear, it's a barrel. If I go ahead and reassemble this, you can see this interface starts working, and these should be connecting. Oh, looks like I missed some blocks here. Now this is going to interface, and the other ones should as well. If we come back up here, yeah, we can see all these guys are smooching. And that's what you want to see, guys smooching. And you can see I've already started inputting some items into the system. And if I want, I can request out a bunch of sea lanterns, and they should show up. They're not showing up. Why are they not showing up? Huh? That should make the items blow upward. And now if I reassemble this, yeah, you can hear the packager working. We should now have, yes, sea lanterns. Beautiful. Oh, and now I can do the most satisfying thing. Oh, not my rockets, probably. And all of these items are getting offloaded straight into the storage. And it should happen really quickly, too. That was one of the drawbacks of my last system. I used frogs to get the items back into the storage, and it took forever to get them in there. Now, technically, the only thing I should be waiting on is if they have to cascade from vault to vault on this belt line here. And that really shouldn't take all that long. And now, even if I mine these up, they should sit on top of these chutes no matter what. They'll never get input into the system because we have those filters that block them from going inside. And I also set up a chest off to the side here so I can dump all my empty shulker boxes into here for my future projects. And while, yes, I can walk right up here and just toss items on top and they'll get put into the system, I also have the option to throw them in this barrel here. And down below, it just drops the items on top of this block and they get input via this funnel. Whew! New storage network. And the funniest part about this is that it really doesn't even require any stress. I put 2 water wheels here, and I cranked this up to 256 speed, and the only thing that it's really running is this fan right here. And if I throw on my goggles, this takes 512 stress units, and it says it needs 1024, but I don't know why. There's nothing else on this that should cause stress. Like, it's just moving belts. That should be like almost 0 requirement. There are some mod packs out there that actually assign like a stress value to each component that you put down, but that's not part of this pack. So I'm really not sure why any of that's causing stress. And with these platforms here, I have effectively doubled the amount of space that I have available for use in this area. And actually doubled and then some, because I think I want these entire chunks to be walkways. I don't think I want to put any machinery in these. I think it'll just make more sense that way. And this here is my bulk processing, which we haven't quite hooked up to our main storage or power yet, although these guys are slowed way, way down, and they wouldn't really require that much power. And temporarily, I actually can hook this guy up to power just by going like this. And that is actually perfect. These are pushing, hopefully. Nope, that's pulling. But if I go in here, I can go ahead and set this to that. And if I set these to 4 RPM, any and all items that get dropped here, they don't need a filter. That means I won't be messing with any smooth stone issues or anything like that with the filtering that I used to have in my old shop. Now everything gets slowly pushed along these netherite floor blocks down here and into this main storage output. I've got to hook up the way to send items over here and then a way to send the items back. I think I'm going to actually use this same color coding for any of the modules that we add here to get sent over to this guy here, which I'm pretty sure if I just go downstairs and assemble that back into the world, it should be as simple as adding a line of these pipes along the bottom here and attaching it to that same minecart contraption. I did go ahead and craft myself up some of these sticky boots. They make you jump super high whenever you're shifting. I literally get like 4 blocks of space, and if I unshift, I actually take damage on the way back down. Kind of goofy, but I figured they'd be kind of useful for this. And later on down the line, I can actually add the modules and inputs that I need to for this. Mostly, I just want to get the bulk processing set up. And I'm just now realizing this is not going to work. See, when items get output out of our main output right there in the center onto the minecart contraption, they're being sent as items, which won't work because whenever I'm trying to input items into my system, I'm sending them as packages, which means I need to add a layer to this. That should be easy enough. All I got to do is this, throw in a few packagers, grab the name that's on this sign right here, and I should be able to just drop that name on each of these. I should be able to attach these portable storage interfaces, something like that. And I'm doing 4 of these for speed, but now that packagers are in the mix, I don't think I need 4 of these actually. I think I could probably get away with just doing 2. That way, even if we're haunting stacks and stacks of items, smelting stacks and stacks of items, and splashing them all at the same time, even though they're all getting inputted into the same vault, they should go out 9 stacks at a time, meaning that we shouldn't ever really overflow. Ooh, and I can actually make this look a lot prettier if I do something fancy with one of our cool new mods. Using the parallel pipes mod, I can go ahead and craft up this fancy new pipe wrench. I can go ahead and disconnect the top there, and this pipe will run right into that. I can attach this with super glue. And whenever I give those guys some power, we should be able to automatically input items back into here, which should just be a matter of giving these 2 a couple levers. And one thing we have not yet talked about in this storage system is these 2 right here. I originally discussed these guys whenever I first did my storage system in my other workshop, but essentially in order to access any of your storage networks, you need to have these stock links and they need to connect to a stock ticker. And Matter found out earlier on in the season that you can use these guys to interact with these systems. I set this stock ticker up to be a way to interact with our regular storage system so we can call items right up to here. And I've set this guy up as a way to send items to automation, but only if we need to do that manually. Unfortunately, it means we're going to need another array of this. All of this, we need another one on every single vault here. All right, and I finally have the system set up in place so I can distribute items, or rather packages, to this bulk processing unit, and I have room for expansion on the same minecart contraption to go all the way down the room. And if I want to do that also on the other side, I can just run another line of this andesite girder over that way. One problem that I have run into is that normally in order to actually like semi-automatically send items, like say I want to blast them, I'd be able to go into here and designate where I want to send that package to if I have posted up a list of the different names of the frogs that you are sending the items to. I don't actually have any frogs in this network, meaning that I don't have any way to click these on here. So I think I'm actually gonna have to fake this a little bit by plopping a frog down right here, grabbing a secondary clipboard, copying the actual names, renaming this frog, and then right-clicking it on that guy. See, now it's got a different little icon here, so it's letting you know that the packages can be sent to this address. And so I'm hoping now, even though this frog doesn't actually exist, I'm hoping now I can go ahead and post this clipboard right here, and I should now be able to, yes, I've got my list. So if I want to go ahead and send some cactus over to the blast furnace thing, I can go ahead and do that. We've still got to go ahead and assemble this guy right here. That should connect all that. Ooh, that's left over. So now if I send a cactus over to get sent through the blast furnace thing, we go back over here and that should turn into green dye at the perfect moment. Oh, or a little quicker. Why was that so fast? Oh, it's because there's only one of them. Yeah, this is meant for full stacks of items to be smelted, but it should get fully smelted just as it reaches the place where this andesite funnel can pick it up. So maybe that won't work if I'm using the parallel pipes mod in a contraption. All right, but now I should be able to go over into here, take a stack of pale oak logs and send that over to the blast furnace. It's automatically getting schmeltificated, slowly but surely. And it turns into charcoal, and then it gets picked up. There's a little bit of delay there, but honestly, I'm fine with it. Kind of goofy having to work around the whole frog thing, but it's instantaneous, so I can't really complain, can I? Now, we do have increased frog range on the server. We have the config raised really, really high. So technically, I could have one frog spitting out onto a line and then having a bunch of them reach to one spot, but I don't know. This seems cooler. And I am at the point where I'm really torn. I'm really going to miss this place. I love my spaceship so much, and I love all the automation and things that we've put in it, but we've just got to move on. So just kind of as like a one final walkthrough, I just kind of want to like take a look around all the automation and things that we've relied on thus far. I mean, it's crazy. We have our automatic press right here, and like all of these modules are so compact. This automatically grinds items or sands them. We have the wire mill from our add-on mod. We have all of our saws that turn things into planks or logs or trapdoors or whatever we need. And I have this single piece of rich soil that has been sustaining me throughout this entire playthrough. It's actually fed me like a lot. I ran out of food again just now, and I'm eating golden apples again. We have our automatic cardboardificator, our little andesite alloy maker over there, our casings creator, the spot I've created every single crushing wheel I've ever used, my super compact little dyeing module and bulk processing modules, automatic obsidian and automatic sturdy sheets, auto restocking on all of my toolboxes that I carry around in my mobile workshop, not to mention all the temporary farms that I threw in here on the logistics level. I think for lag purposes I'll end up turning all of this off, but I'll leave all the machinery here. It's kind of cool. And plus when we get to the stage where we're going to do a world download, I think it'll be cool for you guys to kind of walk through it. And that's not even mentioning my bedroom. I'm gonna miss this place too. Just kidding, screw that place, I'm living large now. If you made it to this point in the video, you're actually goated. I appreciate you so much for watching. If you like the video, you should like it. And if you want to subscribe, you should do it. And I'll see you in the next one. See ya.